Hey, welcome to the Q Reyes Project. This is Q Reyes coming at you once again, and have a very, very special show right now. I'm going to talk about something that I believe is important. I believe a lot of people need to know this information, be aware, be informed, so that they can make decisions based on their analytics, so they can analyze the information and not make decisions based on their emotions. If something happens, that's when your emotions kick in and you do things out of fear. You do things out of desperation. You don't want to get to that point. You want to make decisions before you get there. And for that, I'm going to introduce somebody that is an expert in gold, is an expert in gold coins and currency and all of that. And we're going to talk a little bit about what do we need to know about gold and about diversifying our money. Even if you don't have money, you want to stay tuned for this because you might have money one day, or you might want to keep the little money you have. All right, so I have Daniel on the line. Daniel, what's going on? Daniel Cotten.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, man, what's going on? Hey, man, so Daniel Cotten is an expert in the field. Tell us a little bit about who you are and your company.
Yes, sir. I run goldexchange.com. We're a Silicon Valley-based gold exchange company. We're relatively small, but it's for good reason. We want to have a personal relationship with each and one of our clients. We don't want to seem as though we're too large to the point where people would just get lost in numbers.
Okay, I get that. And so how did you get into this field, money field,
Well, it all started as a child. I've always been interested in coin collecting, and throughout the years, while visiting coin shops, the coin dealers would hit me on to investing in precious metals. Weight was more important than anything else. Yeah, sure, I can buy a rare coin, but how about I buy gold? Gold will always and forever be worth something, and it's universally traded, whereas a rare coin, you can't go, for example, somewhere in Africa and say, hey, I have this rare coin from the United States from 1820. They really wouldn't have no idea what that is, whereas gold, it would be a little more familiar to them.
I see. Okay, I get it. So what about, for example, a gold chain? Is that a good investment?
It can be. So now, for example, if an individual is buying gold, and they buy a gold chain, they're buying the design, they're buying the name. And when I say the name, they're buying the Jordan. So, for example, you have all of these shoes, but then you have the Jordans. You notice how people go crazy for the Jordans and they're willing to pay premium and well over premium for Jordans. But realistically, if shit hit the fan, those Jordans are not going to be worth anything.
Wow. So what about... So that you're saying that the chain is just you're paying for all the extra stuff when really what people should be worried about is the weight of that gold, right?
Exactly. And so, for example, you would buy a chain, it would have about $700 to $900 worth of gold, but you will be paying a super high premium because of the make. So you're paying that designer $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. But then when it's time to cash that gold chain in, you go to one of several different cash for gold businesses. They're only going to give you between $700 to $900 for it, give or take a few $100, because they only care about the weight. They don't care about who it's from, where it's from. Weight is key. And purity.
I get it. So if a rapper really wanted to flaunt their money, they should have just had a brick of gold and not a gold chain, right?
Absolutely. Because take, for example, 50 Cent. He advertises how he keeps millions in raw cash stuffed in his trunks of his Lamborghinis and Ferraris in his garage. Well, if they caught fire, that money is gone. Whereas if it was gold, it would melt, but it would still be there, because keep in mind, gold doesn't evaporate, it doesn't corrode, it doesn't do none of that. So he's going to always and forever have that gold there. That gold is always going to be with him.
Wow, he should give you a call then. He should he should go to your website. What's your website?
GoldExchange.com.
GoldExchange.com, 50. Go check it out and exchange that cash. Because cash is paper. As you were saying, it can burn down. So
Fiat currency.
Is what?
Fiat currency.
Fiat. What is that? Explain that.
Fiat currency. Basically, fiat currency is something that a government is backing. It's just the means a government promise. And, governments normally, for example, let's take, for example, the U.S. dollar. It's a currency that a government would declare legal tender, but it's not really backed by a physical commodity.
Got it.
So the value of fiat currency is derived from a relationship between the supply and demand rather than the value of the material that the money is made of. So you take a dollar, it's made out of cotton.
Yeah.
And it burns. So, and keep in mind too, back in the day, the U.S. government used to print money based on how much gold we had to back it. Now we don't really worry about that too much.
They're like, F it. We just gonna print money and people still buy stuff with it.
Absolutely. But you would also realize, too, that the U.S. government, as well as other governments, they keep large stockpiles of gold.
Yeah, but that's for emergencies for them. I'm sure they're not going to give it out to the people.
Absolutely. And it's oftentimes used to trade with other countries for weaponry and for other things. It's a major, gold is universally traded. It's well respected. It's been around, probably since 600 BC. It's been bartered. It's just been used everywhere. And it's always a great hedge against inflation. It's the ultimate hedge against inflation.
And definitely. And I'm glad you're talking about this. And I really hope that people that are watching this, and there's a lot of people that are smart about it, but there's people that have no idea, like that they basically believe that the cash dollar bill is almighty and it has power. And it does to a certain extent. But if something happens in this country that, God forbid, something, a catastrophe, earthquakes or whatever, and the economic system is shut down, that cash won't be valuable, So
Yes,
what do you say to the people? What do you say to the people that put all that effort and that mindset into having that cash? How do they go now that they've seen this and like, okay, well, maybe I should get gold? How do they do it? How do they convert that money into gold?
Well, they could visit my website, goldexchange.com. So we sell with a premium. So, for example, if gold is at $1,200 an ounce for a 1 ounce pure gold round, we're going to sell it for about $1,280 because we're going to add that extra little bit on because we have to make a profit. We want to be as transparent as possible. We have to make money, otherwise we won't be in business. But if the individual is willing to sell it back to us, they're going to get at bare minimum spot price for their gold. And spot price is the value of gold at that given moment. So if they buy a 1 ounce gold piece from us at $1,280, and let's say 2-3 weeks down the road, gold skyrockets to $1,900 an ounce, and they're willing to sell it back, we'll give it to them. We'll give them to $1,900, $2,000, whatever gold is at that moment. That's what they'll get for it. Gold fluctuates.
Wow. So
yeah,
what do you recommend? How much money do you need to get started to start buying gold?
So for gold, a lot of money has to be spent to get a large stockpile of gold. I mean, gold is a very expensive precious metal. For those who are starting, I would recommend buying silver. If you have in excess of $50,000 that you're willing to put into gold, that would be a little more reasonable. Whereas if you have $500, $1,000, or even less than that, and you want to just say, hey, I don't really have that much cash, but I'm going to put a little bit into a precious metal, because there are 4 main precious metals that most dealers deal with. It's silver, gold, platinum, and palladium. Now,
that's a club, isn't it? Is that a
Yeah,
club?
it's yeah,
Not vessels.
it's four main elements that most dealers deal with. Now you have some dealers that deal with rhodium too. Rhodium is another platinum group metal, but rhodium is a little more rare.
Do you deal with all of that? Is that something you specialize in,
Yeah,
or just gold?
no, we deal with everything. We deal with silver, gold, platinum, palladium, and rhodium, because these are the main elements, the main precious metals that are easiest to trade and exchange on the market.
And then, so you're saying maybe people that don't have a lot of cash or funds ready to go, they should just start with lower, maybe silver, and then work their way up, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So if someone even want to put $50, $100 into starting their investment, they would be able to get a few ounces of silver. That's a great way. That's actually how I started. You know, I had a little job. I was working at a movie theater. Whenever I got paid, I would put about 30 to 50% of my money into silver. And by the time I cashed in, I got well in excess of double what I paid for silver, because silver has went up so much since the time I purchased it, because of what happened in the economy, because of the issues surrounding the war. We went through a depression. When the economy get bad, gold prices go up. When the stock market does bad, investors with the stock market would pull out and put their money in the gold or precious metals, not necessarily just gold, but precious metals. But gold is the most sought after and the most recognized of all precious metals.
That all makes so much sense, and I'm glad you're giving us this information that is very technical. But I want to get a little bit into the social aspect of gold and financing, because I believe lower classes, and let's even go further, minorities, specifically Latinos and blacks, we tend to not look at that aspect of our finances as that important. Like, if we have money in our account, sometimes we feel safe, like, okay, we are good, and if our bills are paid, we are good. But we're not looking at how do we get out of that mentality and start investing into something that's going to have value for us and for our children. So what do you say to something like that? How do you change that mentality that your bank account, the numbers in your bank account, are enough for you to be safe?
Okay, so these are all really great questions. So, for example, the Chinese, they live by a philosophy of gold. You also notice in India is really well diverse in gold. It's part of their religion. And gold is really, really sought after around October of every year, because that's the main time where marriages happen and so forth. So families would buy gold not only for its beauty, but because it brings an investment to the family. And so, and bringing it back to the continental North American area, Mexico in particular has gold coins, but a lot of people are not aware of it, and they're very much traded here in the U.S. and Canada. And again, a lot of folks don't know about it. In fact, we offer coins from Mexico made out of pure gold. One of our main, most sought after coins that we have in stock are the 50 peso Centenario. It's 37.5 grams of gold, and we offer that on our site.
Oh, wow. And how much would a coin like that cost around? I don't know if it fluctuates, but...
So for a coin like that, we would probably sell it for in the neighborhood of about $1,400. And that,
wow,
because of this time. Now, again, because of the price of gold and it's constantly fluctuating, that price is going to change in the next minute.
Wow. So someone that bought that maybe 50 years ago, it's made a big profit on it, right?
Absolutely, because I mean that was a time when gold was at, $25-$30 an ounce. So now, they've made several times the initial investment. Whereas if they had their money in, like, let's say a traditional financial institution such as a B of A or a Wells Fargo, these large financial institutions are not paying anyone for APY for, their cash in a savings account. They don't even pay a lot for your money being in a certificate of deposit account.
Yeah, it's percentage is like 1%, if that,
Yeah, especially in these large financial institutions, no kidding, if they would pay you about 3 to 5 cents per $1,000. Most people would rather do business with local credit unions and online banks. So you would also notice too how there's a lot of online banks such as Ally and American Express Savings and Discover and ING Direct and Capital One 360. These banks are offering high APY, but in actuality, the least money you have, the less you make. The more money you have, the more you would make. But even still, it's still pennies on a dollar.
Yeah, and they're making a lot of money because they're loaning out that money for, 6, 8, 10, 20% interest. And
absolutely. And if anything happens, you can't get your money. You would have to rely on these financial institutions to get your money. They won't be able to get you your money if things didn't go right with the economy. Whereas if you had gold or any other precious metal for that matter, silver, palladium, rhodium, platinum, you can exchange that. You can use that to barter. You can go to other countries and that's still going to be recognized. You go to another country with a U.S. currency and, things went south within the U.S. government, no one is going to honor that currency.
Wow. So it's super important. Reasons. It's super important. I really wish that people really take this to heart and really start doing what they need to do to safeguard, because it's about your family too. I mean, if you're the provider of your house or your home and you're making good money and then one day you get fired, you get sick, or something happens, where it's an earthquake or this country just, there's some problems here, which we've been having a little bit of problems. Imagine if they escalate and no one wants to take your dollar, like you're gonna, how are you gonna get food, and gold? I mean, you're definitely right. So what's the website again?
goldexchange.com.
And then, so if I go there, and I'm actually really interested in this because, I've known this information a little bit and I haven't taken action, and mostly because I don't know where to start. Like, I'm like, you go on the internet and there's like a million places and do this and do that. And I'm like, I don't know if I trust any of that. So if I go to goldexchange.com, is there's like a place there where you can explain to me what to buy, or can they email you and you maybe give them a little bit of information?
Absolutely. We have everything available on the website. If any customers have any questions or concerns whatsoever, they can simply send us an email or give us a call. If they feel cautious about using our service, we also accept PayPal, so they're covered. PayPal offers 100% buyer protection. So at any given time, the buyer is not responsible for anything that happens should we don't deliver what we promise. But we have never, ever had any issue delivering to our customers, ever. Okay. We always do well to make sure our customers get their metals and in a timely fashion. The day they order, we send it out the same day.
So so how do I know what to order? Am I just buying gold? Like, I just say, I want $1,000 worth, $10,000 worth of gold. Like, is that how you buy it? Or should, as a beginner, should I be looking for something specific to buy?
So that's another great question. So there are different types of gold pieces. You have what we refer to as gold rounds. They're the shape of a coin. And basically, those are pure gold, but they're not struck by a government. They're struck by a private mint. So basically, someone took a gold bar, melted the gold down, and struck little coins with it. So that's what you're paying for. Whereas we also have government strikes from the U.S. government where it has not only the weight value of gold, pure gold, it also has a face value, which would, like, let's say the 1 ounce gold eagle from the United States, that's pure gold. It's 1 ounce. You're getting the gold value, you're getting the face value, and you're getting the collector beauty value of the coin itself. Normally with these government struck coins, you're going to be paying a little more of a premium than for just a regular gold round. But at the end, it all depends on the buyer. Now with the government struck rounds, for us personally, if someone were to sell it back to us, we would give them market price for gold plus premium if they're selling us back a government round.
Wow. So it's like a whole world. This
Yes.
gold world. And I really hope that a lot of, my people, Latinos, Black people, that we start looking into this and get wise about our finances and what does it mean when you have that dollar bill in your hand, and what does it mean when you have some gold in your hand. So thanks.
Absolutely. And I tell people, that I run into friends, family, colleagues. I tell them, you guys are spending a ton of money on shoes and clothing. You guys need to start worrying about your financing and investing. If you're not familiar with stocks, that's fine. Get involved with something you're familiar with. This is very easy. It's simple. It doesn't take a mathematician to figure this out. It's very, very straight to the point. You buy silver, you can either hold on to it or you could sell it tomorrow. You would always get close to what you paid for it if you ever sold it. If you hold on to it for a longer period of time, you'll make a profit.
You buy gold and silver as well?
Yes, that's correct. We buy and sell.
So how does that work? For example, over the internet, someone that's far away.
Absolutely. So if they were interested in selling us pieces, what we would do is we would send them a gold kit, and what this contains is a bubble wrap mailer. It contains a little baggie. They could place all the items in there. We pay for the shipping. The shipping mailer is already labeled. All they have to do is stick their items inside, seal it tight, and throw it in a mailbox. And the moment we get it, we'll process it, weigh it, and we would send them a proposed amount. If they agree to take it, we would either send them a check, we'll wire them through PayPal, or we can send the money to their account. If they're with larger banks such as B of A or Wells Fargo, they would normally get paid the same day we receive it. We have customers who prefer just a check by mail. We have customers who would also prefer PayPal. It just depends on the customer's need.
Okay, wow. So there's nothing to be lost here except, maybe some knowledge and some money in your pocket, some real gold in your pocket, actually, I should say. And so,
Absolutely.
man, I really, really appreciate you taking your time and telling, people that are watching this right now and people that are interested in this. And because, not everybody's going to be interested. Unfortunately, I really hope that changes one day. But the people that are interested, maybe we can start spreading the word and letting people know, hey, you got to get on this gold train now.
Absolutely. Because, no one is for sure what's going to happen with the economy. We have a lot of things changing, and that's going to change in the coming years. It's safe to say that you might want to start putting your money in the precious metal instead of relying on U.S. currency.
Yeah, definitely. So thank you so much. Again, what's the website? goldexchange.com?
goldexchange.com. We can be reached anytime. We're available 24/7. You can go there. You could visit our other affiliate website, lunarseries.com, for those who are interested in collectibles, silver and gold strikes from the Perth Mint of Australia. Of course, these pieces have higher premiums on them, but for those who are seriously, deeply into the collecting phase of coins, this is the place to be, is lunarseries.com.
Wow. It's a lot to learn. I'm like blown away because I'm thinking it's just gold. Hey, let me get $100 worth of gold. I didn't know there were so many variables that went into the gold financing. So thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And again, goldexchange.com. You guys check that out. And until next time, hopefully we can have you back real soon.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks for the call, Q.
Okay. Have a good one.